Hi, this is Anna, and this is Check It at the Round Table, where we discuss movies, books, music, and stuff. And we just got done with our podcast on the uber delightful face masks and Bad Buddy notebook and mask. Okay, yeah, mildly excessive banana camera. Awesome. Check them out on Etsy. You can also check out the podcast we did on their wonderful shop. But anyway, today we are discussing E-Tie CD. For those of you who listen to this podcast and are mildly obsessive with Thai dramas or Thai BL dramas, you're going to want to check out E-Tie CD. What I discovered was I have a Vice and it's Bad Buddy merch. I have several Vices. Like today, I realized that yet again, I had to make my weekly snack one. I mean, I can live without groceries, but snacks, not really. I mean, come mid-afternoon, I'm really going to need my Vietnamese coffee from the fridge. And if I don't have it, I'm not going to be probably as nice of a person. So it's a good idea for me to do, and it's way cheaper than the therapy session. So anyway, another Vice is I discovered they have Bad Buddy merch. They have Bad Buddy merch on Etsy. They have Bad Buddy merch on Redbubble, which if you haven't checked that out, you should totally go to. I was like, Anna, you cannot spend the equivalent of, $1,000 US on Asian drama merch on Redbubble. I mean, over time, 5 years, maybe that's okay, but not all at once. Even if you have the money in savings, that's not, you should put that in a CD. Then you sit there and go, no, yeah, you can't really do that. So anyway, but E-Tie CD. I went there this last month because I discovered that they are releasing Bad Buddy as a DVD set on E-Tie CD. I believe there are 2 other shops in the world online that are selling Bad Buddy merch. That is official GMMTV merch. Now, of course, we have a lot of stuff on Etsy, eBay, Redbubble that is not licensed GMMTV merch. And I'm not a big fan of, I don't care whether something's licensed or not. For me as a buyer, I probably should because of the licensing issues. So, not trying to get anyone in trouble. I'm just saying, for me as a buyer, I don't really care if it comes from GMMTV or not. But what I do care is when I found out that I could buy a Bad Buddy DVD set, I was like, I think I've spent that much on one other DVD set in my entire life, and that was Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, and that was totally justifiable because that's like one of my favorite American dramas of all time, which I am totally obsessive about, and I haven't watched in years. Come to think of it, I really should watch that again. But anyway, I was like, I can justify this because I am one of those people that had a chance to buy the Until We Meet Again series, and I didn't. And that's one of my few life regrets. I sit there sometimes and I go, Anna, you really should have forked over the cash for that set instead of sitting here going, what if they ever take it down from YouTube? Because that is your second favorite Asian drama. Maybe your first. I think it is my first favorite Asian drama of all time. That and Re Best Love. They kind of tie. But anyway, I went over to E-Tie CD and I bought the Bad Buddy series. And not only did I buy one of the DVD set, I bought 2 of them. Now, my reasons for this are entirely justifiable. My reason is I am a high function autistic, and when I like something, I usually buy 2 of them. Now, I'm saying that maybe because of the autism. Also, it could just be because that's me, and practically speaking, I sit there and go, if I like something, I'm probably going to get 2 of them, just so if one breaks, has something tragic happen, it will be okay in the end. So I went out, I bought my 1 Bad Buddy set. And then I sat there and went, I also want to buy the sticky notes of the frowny face, smiley face. Now, were those god-awful expensive? And I hardly ever swear, but they really were. Those are, I think, $25 for 250 sheets of them, which works out to about 25 cents a sheet. So they were god-awful expensive, but I was like, Anna, you are going to do this once in your life, and you hardly ever spend any money for entertainment purposes if we do not count my streaming services, which I consider that therapy after COVID started. It keeps me calm. Okay, so that's not really what I call my entertainment monies. So anyway, I bought the Bad Buddy 1 set. I bought the Post-it notes, 1 set. I bought the door knocker, 1 set. And I bought the pram bag, 1 set. And I bought 2 Nong Now dolls. That was probably the biggest, do I really want to do this, of the whole first order. I did 3 orders, peeps. So this is the first order. So we had Bud Buddy DVD, we had the Post-it notes, we had the pram bag, we had the earbud case, we had the Nong Now dolls, 2 of them. Now, 2 of them, yeah, I can't count. It's late in the day, and I am number dyslexic, but I still can count. So anyway, that was a big order. But I sat there and went, you know, I haven't gone on vacation in 4 years, and this is way cheaper than me going on vacation. So I was like, I'm getting it. Now, the reason for the Nong Now dolls is they were down to less than 10 of the Nong Now dolls. And I looked online, and there's like 2 other shops that are selling them, and they're also down to less than 10. And I'm like, I do not want to someday have a special child in my life who might be sleeping with Nong Now doll because they like it. And I'm like, oh, isn't that cute? And then something tragic happens to their Nong Now doll. And I'm sitting there going, oh, bloody, we didn't have another. I mean, no offense. I'm like, that's something that I could see someday happening. And I'm like, we're just buying 2. If there's no special children, they'll make great yet expensive sofa pillows. So anyway, I bought 2 Nong Nows, and I placed that order. And then I sat there for a little while, you know, gave it some time. And I went, Anna, you want to get a couple more of the earbud cases, and you need to get another pram bag and another door knocker. And the reason being is everywhere I go, have earbuds. If I am out and about, I have earbuds. I also have a hearing aid because I'm partially deaf in one ear. Sometimes it's great, like 3 times a year I use the hearing aid. Usually I don't, but if I'm in a large crowd, like I sometimes am when I'm out and about, even though I'm masked up and hate large crowds, it's like that really helps to be able to hear. And I'm like, wouldn't it be cool and much more stylish to keep those all in that pram earbud case? So I bought 2 more pram earbud cases and 1 more pram earbud cases, 2 more pram earbud cases, and 1 more door knocker. So that was my second order. So I have a total of 3 earbud cases. The other thing is I'm getting ready to do some large events, and it's going to be a lot easier for my absent-minded self to be able to just put that around my neck and go, I know I've got my hearing aid and I know I have my earbuds. Because if I'm not using my hearing aid, I'm probably using my earbuds, because as weird as it sounds, if you do have neurological deafness, I don't know if it's just me, but it really helps to have music playing in your ears, and you can hear everything a lot better because you have the familiarity of the music playing in your ears. Totally weird, but it does work. So anyway, I'm like, if I have to go help with these large events, I'm taking my earbuds in a stylish case. And if I'm totally absent-minded, like I sometimes am with this, I have 3 sets of these too. It's kind of, yeah, I'm weird, but I'm totally absent-minded sometimes. And it's like that way, I know I have backup. So I bought the earbud cases and the door knocker. And then about 2 weeks later, I kept watching the merch disappear quite quickly from ETICD. And I was like, Anna, it's expensive, but you're going to buy 1 more Bad Buddy set, because it's kind of like the Nong Now dolls. If you don't, you're going to sit there, if your DVD set ever breaks, and go, oh darn, I wish I would have bought the second one, and I didn't. And then you'll go, this is like Until We Meet Again, isn't it, Anna? And yeah, sometimes I talk to myself. It's kind of annoying. But if you live in your own house and it's COVID, you get used to talking to yourself. I'm like, when I do go back to working with other people, they're going to go, why is Anna mumbling at her computer? And I'm going, it's just the way I work. But anyway, so those are my 3 orders from ETICD. I'm going to share my screen now so you too can see this. I am not getting paid to promote ETICD at all. So this is not because of that. I'm just sharing the news in case you too want to get Bad Buddy merch before it's all gone. So anyway, this is ETICD. You can pay through PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, basically anything. I really don't get the magazines with the boys on them. Like, I don't get why there's confetti in the hair or clothespins. But moving on from that, they also have these dolls, which again, I'm like, I guess they really like releasing these dolls for GMMTV merchandise. I don't quite get it because the dolls look nothing like the characters. I mean, they look kind of grumpy with bad eyebrows. But anyway, no offense. I do like the little friend t-shirts, but that's like $50 for a doll. I'm like, and they don't look at all. Anyway, moving on. They also have the keychain, which is really cute, but again, $27 now. I don't get the standee acrylic, but if that's your thing, they've got those. And they do have the super totes adorable Nong Now keychain, which I really considered buying, but that's going to get dirty, and I don't want that. And it's $32 for a very small Nong Now doll. So I did buy the Bad Buddy box set. It's coming in April. They're going to have the price be low on it till February 13th. So I did get the two before the deal. They also have the Bad Buddy t-shirts, the friend and unfriend. I will say, check the sizes because their extra large is like, for American people, a medium. No offense at all. I'm like, they're Asian sizes. So I always check the sizes on everything that I buy because they are not the extra large that I was used to growing up, that, you know, you put up and it's like, oh, this is extra large. It's like, this is extra large. Okay. But anyway, they do have these. I will say that I will be buying these next month, but not from them. I'm actually getting it from a seller on Etsy because it's like $20. I can get 2 for 1 there, and it looks pretty much identical. I mean, I think the friend on these is a little, friend unfriend on these is a little smaller. Also, I could not find out what the fiber content was on these, and I'm like, I've ordered some t-shirts from Asia that come and they're like this weird brushed polyester, and I'm like, I'm not paying $40 for a t-shirt that I don't even know if it's cotton, and it runs small. Also, it does come with a bonus postcard, but it's kind of a weird one. I'm going to share this so you guys can see. It's not, I thought they'd be doing the one where Pat's going, in the kitchen, but instead they're doing this picture. I'm like, why did they do that picture of them in the kitchen? Why didn't they do the one of them both cracking up with Pat going, isn't that cute? But anyway, so I couldn't quite figure out the picture that came with it, but it is an autograph print. If you're into autographs, you can definitely get that. And I think it really is autographed by the actors. I'm going, those poor boys, they had a lot of stuff they were signing. So anyway, and I know they're in their 20s, but they still seem like kids. Anyway, moving on. So this is the Bad Buddy pack, which is super cute. There we go. It comes in a nice little box. I'm not sure on the size. I really hope it's big enough to hold my earbuds, but I do have earbuds that I believe are pretty much identical to the ones Pran has. They're in blue. So anyway, I think they will fit in there perfectly. I bought like 3 sets of those because when I found them at my local store, I was like, those are exactly like Bad Buddy. Little did I know at the time that I would eventually buy 3 earbud cases. Mildly obsessive. Anyway, so it does come with this. I think it might come with something else. Let me see here. Nope, just bag. And then they have less than 10 of those available. And yes, they're super expensive, but I'm like, I will know where my earbuds and my hearing aid are. No problem there. I don't really get the folder. I asked one of my friends who's from Korea, I said, do they charge an excessive amount for folders in Asia in a way that I wasn't aware of? Because I'm like, I'm aware of the prices in Asia for most things, but I'm like, why is it so expensive? Like freaking expensive for a folder of the boys in their rugby outfits. I mean, no offense, I'm like, and why would we want a folder of the boys in their rugby outfits? I mean, no offense, I'm like, that's kind of weird. But anyway, that is a folder you can buy if you feel so compelled. I was just like, I didn't really see the draw on the folder. But anyway, and then we have these totes adored sticky notes. I just couldn't resist. I'm sorry. I was like, that'll be so cool on my bulletin board. I might actually, my plan is next month to buy 1 more of these and 2 more Pran bags before they sell it, because I'm like, I would like to have 3 of those. Like I have 3 of the earbud cases and not 3 of the sticky notes. I'm like, no, the sticky notes, we're only doing 2 sets probably if they're still here next month. But anyway, it also comes with a photo card with all my non-photographs. Again, I'm like, those boys were really busy signing stuff. So anyway, but yeah, I always think it's a hoot. This picture of Pran, I'm like, that is so not him. I mean, that's him when he's trying to be cool, but I'm like, he's not that way in the story at all. This is the Uber expense that I really went over the top. But anyway, this is, and it's showing American dollars because I'm using my VPN with the US right now. So everything is converting to American. But anyway, so this is the Nong Now doll. And I just thought it was really, really, and it comes in its own little bag. And it's really quite a big doll. I mean, no offense. I'm not trying to be weird, but in the movie, you're not really thinking. I mean, I'm like, I don't know how tall the boys are, so I don't really know how big the doll is. No offense, compared to, I used to do anthropomorphic studies in school when I did interior design. I'm like, you know, depending on the human, the doll could be either quite big or quite large, quite small. We really don't know because we don't know how tall, for example, is. No offense. I'm just like, how do we know how big the doll is? So anyway, we have the doll with the funny tag. And then we have, let's see, the packaging is 39 by 59 centimeters, which I'm still learning centimeters, guys. So you guys can run your own conversions on that. But let's just say I did about, it's about, you know, I would say 2 foot by 1.5 foot. Anyway, let me just check real quick, just a minute here. Okay. We're gonna do, and there are less than 10 of these available on their website, and it's the same with the other website. So if you do want a Nong Now doll for you or your special little one, then you probably want to get it now. Okay, it's 15 inches by 60. So it's 15 inches across, about a foot across, and it's 60 centimeters. It's 2 foot long. So it's a big doll. Okay, so Al must be taller than I thought he was. Okay, interesting. So I don't know how tall these people are and why does it matter? So anyway, but I was like, how big is the doll? So there we go. This is the door hanger. And I was like, I have to get 2 of these. So I did get 2 of these door hangers. And yes, it's mildly obsessive, but I am totally okay with that. And aren't they adorable? I mean, I love the door hangers. I'm like, you can show when you're happy. If you're having a bad day at your home office, you can put that up and the kitties know, bring Din Mom boba tea, and for coffee, maybe 2 of them, and it will be a much calmer day for Din Mom. So anyway, I'm like, you know, it's a good symbol. So yes, and then we have this lovely Pran bag. This I have been messaging them about because this was supposed to be available. It's now in stock. Yes. Okay. I've been checking it like every other day. It finally came out. So they are shipping my big package with Nong Now dolls because I by accident ordered this, which is pre-shipment with my Nong Now dolls, and they wouldn't ship them without shipping them all at the same time. And I was like, darn, I have to wait for my earbud case and that and yeah. So anyway, they now have the Pran bags in stock, more than 10. So you can buy these lovely bags. They are nylon, which I really like, although I'm a fan of cotton if possible. But I love that they're nylon because they are easy to wash. Like, I don't know why, but for some reason, Anna has a tendency to somehow, if there is dirt or something, it's going to get on my bag. Even though I'm a very clean person, it's like my neighbor Totoro Backpack. It's vinyl, but it has a furry tummy for Totoro. And I love that backpack. But I was looking at it about a week ago and I was like, Anna, you need to wash your bag. I'm not sure if this is even washable, but Totoro's tummy is just dirty. So anyway, I was like, if I get the nylon bag, it's very nice and lightweight and it dries quickly. So if I'm traveling, I can literally just fold it up, wash it, dry it, it'll be done. So anyway, this is the Pran bag. And it has the P symbol. So yeah, I think it's totally adorable. So I will be placing an order for 2 more of these. And yes, I do know they're expensive, but let's just put it this way. It's like I told my best friend, I said, you know, I just happened to buy my birthday, Christmas, and every known holiday in this year, this spring, with my Bad Buddy merch. And they're like, yeah, that makes sense for you. And I'm like, yeah, it does. So anyway, this is the Pran bag. I can't believe it's in. I'm like so excited now. Oh, my weekend just got better. I found out they're making To My Star 2, and my Bad Buddy bag is going to be winging its way to me from the Philippines. So anyway, they do have the postcard set. These are sold out, I believe. Yep, they're out of stock. I wasn't really that, I mean, no offense. I'm like, the postcard set, it's not really my thing. I think the only ones I thought were kind of cute were the ones of the two boys with the red curtain. I thought that was kind of a fun picture. But the rest of them, I'm like, again, I really don't see the draw of the rugby outfits. Nobody really looks good in vertical stripes. It's nothing against Drum and On. It's like, I don't get vertical stripes. They're just different. Yeah, anyway, and it could just be me. So there we go. And then we have the novel, which I would not recommend the novel at all, peeps. I'm not into Thai BL novels. I did try to read that one and I was like, this is not kid friendly. And this is really much more violent than the movie by like 10 times for like what the parents do to one another. I mean, I just happened to open it randomly and the dad was going to beat up the one kid with a pipe. And I'm like, and I'm sorry, this is trying to be a kid friendly one, but I'm like, this is not the one for me because I do not like violence against anyone. And I was just like, no. So besides that, it had a bunch of romantical moments that really just weren't honest thing. And so I'm like, I much prefer Bad Buddy, the movie. I'm just not even gonna worry about that one between the violence and the other. Yeah, I think. So anyway, this is their Bad Buddy merch. Again, I really don't get the clothespins or the confetti, but whatever trips their trigger. They do have a limited number of these items. So like, that's one reason that I went ahead and just went, you know what, I'm just buying it now and be done with it. No, I've got it. So the sale for the Bad Buddy DVD set does go off on the 13th. You do save 8%. And I do believe they give you special discounts when you ring it up at the check register because like my bill was supposed to be a god awful amount. And it was actually much more reasonable than I thought because they kept giving me discounts at checkout. I have no idea how they calculate the discounts, but I was like, you know what? I'm not asking questions. I'm just taking the discounts. The other thing about the Bad Buddy box set, which I would like to show you guys, and again, I'm sharing my screen. I'm not getting paid for this, but if you're into Bad Buddy, you totally will want to see this. So just a minute here. But okay, they do not have pictures up right now. I don't know where they went, but anyway, they used to have pictures, I think. But anyway, this comes not only with the DVDs, with English subs. You can buy the DVD set for like 20 bucks off of eBay. I'm thinking it's a pirated copy and it's all in Thai, which as we all know, as people who English is our first language, we did watch the show without English subtitles when it first came out for the premiere. Lots of us were there, but we much prefer having the English subtitles because other than Gin Lao Swati Hap, it's a little hard to understand Thai. I'm working on it, taking weekly lessons twice a week. I'm like, I'm gonna get this, but they have like 40 some vowels. I'm going, as an English speaker, we have less than 10. And my instructor broached that with me this last week. I was like, he's so calm about it, but he's like, now you do realize, Anna, that we have 40 some vowels. And I was like, I kind of forgotten that little tidbit that I probably had last year when I was researching Thai language, which is why I kind of put off learning because I was like I'm overboard when she sits there and goes blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but anyway, I will get it. It's okay. But this has the DVD set with English subtitles, the photo book, the photo cards, bookmarks, and exclusive photo cards. I don't know what's all included. I'm hoping that they aren't all pictures of people in rugby suits with stripes because that's just, again, I'm not into stripes. It's like, it looks like they're in jail as they used to put them in the old movies. But anyway, okay, so that is the Bad Buddy sets from eThai CD. I would definitely check out this website. They have a ton of stuff. I mean, they have the Not Me, if you're into the scarves from that series. They have The Ring of Pufa, if you're into Tale of a Thousand Stars. And for those of you who don't know, I'm sure most people listening to this podcast know this, but the person who directed A Thousand Stars directed Bad Buddy, and you can definitely tell because they are much higher quality of Asian drama in general than you normally see. And I loved how we had complete elimination of role wars, gender wars. Bad Buddy, I think, has really set a standard that's going to be really hard to top. I like it not because it's LGBTQ friendly, although I do like that side of it too. I like it mainly because it's just a good show that I can sit down and watch with any age of child. I don't have to skip anything. It does deal with some very difficult subjects. I mean, things that people don't like talking about: abuse, neglect, just crazy families. And it deals with it in such a healthy way. I think by the end of episode 12, I was sitting there and I hardly ever cry on a film, but I was like, this is such a good show. I mean, how they dealt with conflict with their families. I'm like, most people would sit there and be upset or break up or, howl at the moon, as they say. And these two boys, I'm like, they are much more mature than most 120-year-olds in how they dealt with their lives. And I think that is a wonderful thing to see. And it's a wonderful thing for, us to share with our families. And I'm like, this is going on the list with Amwa for my kids. It's like, you know what? We will watch Star Trek, Stargate, whatever, because I'm a huge sci-fi fan. That's like my other love. But anyway, I'm like, other than my new Chromebook, it's like I was talking to some people this last week and I'm like, I've discovered a new love of mine, and it's my new Chromebook, because I didn't know that they were oh so shiny. I mean, people have been telling me for years that they're cool, but let's just say this is my new Chromebook. It has the pushing hat stickers, and no, you can't really see it, I'm sorry. But anyway, I am absolutely in love with my Chromebook. I haven't used it all week though, because I've been busy working with my laptop. That needs to change tomorrow. But anyway, I'm like, Bad Buddy, getting back to topic, is one of those shows that it will be watched several times by the people in my home who are in my care, simply because it's not because of it being a BL, even though I really like that as a BL, because I think it's very important that children and young adults realize that relationships come in all shapes and sizes, and that's just, people are people. I mean, no offense, I was having a conversation this last week and I'm like, we put everyone in boxes based on all sorts of things, and I think it's kind of like one of my life goals is get rid of the labels, get rid of the boxes, just love people well. And that's kind of the end of the story. Close the curtain. So anyway, I think that's why I like Bad Buddy so much, is because it is like that. And also, it's kind of like I told my best friend, I said, this show with the character of Pran, I sit there and go, oh God, that's me some days, in not a good way. I mean, I love the character Pran, don't get me wrong. He's a very nice character, but I sit there and go, I am way too much like that in the negative aspects of being so methodical about things and not willing to think about other options. And I'm not talking about the romance aspect of it. I'm just talking about the everyday life of, making sure the bread is perfectly lined, making sure that everything on the bookcase is, perfect. And that's kind of funny because when I was a kid, I was a type Z child. And now I'm like, I don't know. Now, if you came to my house today, there's some disaster areas, but I will say it's still pretty tidy. I'm going to steam my kitchen floor after we're done with this podcast. But anyway, I'm like, this is just a great show, and it's comedic, but yet it also deals with very hard topics in a very simplistic way. I mean, it doesn't make it difficult, which I think is one of its best qualities. And that is my review of Bad Buddy merch from Etai CDs. Check it at the round table. Bye.